You can do that. We can do a lot of different things. I think one of the things we talked about last week is that truth is unchangeable. Like you can't have changing truth. It's not like you go into the bank today, $20. You say, okay, here's my $20. Or money is more of a subjective example. But
I didn't ask for examples. I asked for definitions.
Right. You can say truth.
Yeah. Okay, so truth. According to dictionary.com, different dictionary reference. Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
Truth is a verified or indisputable fact, proposition, principle, or anything of the like a mathematical truth, a state of character being true, actuality or actual existence. That's the definition of the word truth. Okay, the word.
On the board.
Okay, you pass the definition. Take your pen and paper out and write it down. Okay, here we go. Now, reality. Reality means the world or state of things as they actually are, as opposed to an idealistic or a notional idea of that.
It sounds like truth, though.
No, what it's saying here is, okay, reality is what it actually is. The thing is, truth and reality are intertwined because what reality is truth.
So you said, like I said, you just confirm what I said. It sounds like truth. So it sounds like truth.
Here's the issue. The reason why this gets confusing is because somebody could say, and we can go into, for example, I think we talked about this before. Well, actually, I don't think I talked to you about this. This whole concept of reality. If I'm bipolar, okay, my reality is I see somebody, or if I'm schizophrenic, I see someone sitting there. I'm saying he's not sitting there, but in my mind, I see him sitting there. And that means that is my reality that I see and perceive. Does that mean that it's true?
Well, I would have to argue that your definition of reality definitely varies very greatly from what she just read about reality, because from what she just read, reality is
that's my point. That's my point. Although my perception may be a certain reality to me, the actual reality of the situation is there's no one there.
But you're defining your term.
So the truth about reality is knowable.
But you're defining reality using the term reality, and that doesn't clarify what reality means.
That's okay. Maybe what we can do, just for the sake of time, maybe we can
go into deep with the philosophy.
No. Hey, real quick. One of the things that is very important is that we do need to respect each other's point of view. I'm absolutely open to being critiqued. I'm actually open to. This is something that if we're going to be here, we need to speak the truth in love. And we need to speak with gentleness and respect for each other. So I think the things we're talking about here. These were basic premises that I was referring to beforehand. The question here, that obviously is the question. Remind me, I'm sorry. Your name. Jose. The question here that Jose is coming to dispute is it true that a theistic God exists? Right? Because you're atheist, right? Jose is. Okay. So the issue here is that this is what Jose is disputing. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, one of the arguments that I'm bringing, because all these are arguments, right? We're bringing arguments to the table to see which ones require more faith. Because ultimately, remember, faith is being sure of what you hope for and certain of what you do not see, right? So the question here is, we've got to ask ourselves, it's okay, neither Jose, nor I, nor you were there. So everything that we're talking about right now has some semblance of faith, because we were not there. So we cannot say with our little brains that I know 100% sure that this occurred. You with me here?
Yeah.
All we can do is examine, okay, for today, what I wanted to put forward is the cosmological argument. And I appreciate Jose being here. Because the question becomes is, we looked at today, does the universe have a beginning? That's the question. That really is the question. And then from there we're saying, because of that beginning, what caused that beginning? Was that beginning caused by a purely naturalistic event? Or was that beginning caused by something or someone outside of the realm of that universe? That is the question. That is what we're looking at, to see what could have caused it. That's the issue. So for example, if like we always give the example of finding a phone in the forest, right? So the point there is that what caused that to be there, right? If we looked at this whole concept of being outside of a realm, or even this, what's inside of this?
Cupcakes.
Right?
My cupcakes.
Say this is the universe, right? In this universe, there's cupcakes, there's matter, there's different things. The question is, did something outside of this universe begin all this? How did this cupcake get in here?
Tia made it.
Oh, but Tia is outside of this cupcake container.
And she's not a cupcake.
And she's not a cupcake. That's what we're examining here. So the issue is not in the same way that we looked at this cupcake courier and said, okay, well, there are cupcakes that are made in there that obviously had a beginning, because we can say that the cupcake has not always existed. We also say that this hasn't always existed. But let's just say, for example, that she made it too. Then the point here is that since the cupcake nor that thing had a beginning, then it must have had some type of cause to be there. And the cause meaning that there must have been some type of creator that made the cupcake to put it in there. You see what I'm saying here? That is the argument that we're putting out here today. So when we look at all this, and we're breaking down the second part of this, the whole concept here that we were discussing was, okay, disorder leads to order. That's it.
More disorder. Well, that's
order, like disorder does not lead to that's the whole point of the thermodynamics argument.
That's what the people are saying.
That's the way you get.
It's okay. It's okay. Too long.
Okay, so let's start with this one, right?
Right.
Second law of thermodynamics. Is life a closed system or open system?
Where we're living right now. That's the answer. Is it open or closed right now? Is the universe open or closed?
No. Life.
Life is closed within where we are.
No. It's open system. A closed system implies that there is no exchange of energy with an outside environment. But you always exchange energy with the outside.
The outside
right?
being
That's
the
why
earth.
you sweat, that's why, right?
But the question is,
the outside is the
hold on a
earth.
second. The question is, because if we're talking about thermodynamics, we're talking about, like for example, we're
It's
talking
not
about the
just
whole concept
one
of
being.
Yes, it's just
the universe, right? So are we talking about life or are we talking about the universe?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go first into life and then the universe.
But we talk about the universe first.
Because
Can we go universe first? Just because today, the only reason why I say that is because we're talking about the universe today, and then next we can talk about. So we can go there.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is that let's talk about the universe because the universe is a closed system.
yes, the universe is a closed system.
So because the universe is a closed system, this would apply.
Right, but also the second law of thermodynamics refers to entropy.
Mhm.
Now, entropy, so that's what you mean by order.
What we
right?
talked about, entropy increasing.
Okay. So now the disorder can be, or order can be measured by complexity. Okay, so after the Big Bang, everything in the space and time was just pure energy, right? As energy can be materialized into matter. Now, the first particles that appeared were quarks, and then quarks combine, and then it's something called baryogenesis, where you create the first proton. Okay. Now, what happens is that as the universe expands, the temperature goes down. Now, temperature is, what you know as temperature is the average kinetic energy of particles in the system. So when you're drinking coffee and it's hot, it's because the molecules are moving very, very fast. Right? So as the universe expands, the temperature goes down, and then these particles that are moving all crazy, now they start moving slower because the temperature goes down. And then this proton and a lepton called an electron, they attract, and then they form the first hydrogen atom. But now take a look at that by itself. A hydrogen atom on its own, it's a way more complex thing than just a proton. So now you have complexity. So you're going against your argument. Now,
But you're saying
you get hydrogen atoms, right? You get a bunch of hydrogen atoms that are attracted by just gravity, and they make a star. A star is way more complex than just a hydrogen atom.
But how did the
Where does
protons
gravity
make the
come
star?
from?
You have a soup of quarks and leptons. So that's the very first 10 to the negative 15 seconds after the Big Bang. So you have a bunch of protons.
But what caused those things to... The question becomes is, and I hear what you're saying, the question becomes is, okay, Big Bang, boom, right? So you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that from the Big Bang, boom, everything's going out fast. But the issue though is that how, you're saying as it slowed down...
Yeah, it slowed down because that's another law
You're
of
saying,
thermodynamics.
right, so you're saying as it slowed down, that's how the matter was made.
Well, yes, because as it expands, right, temperature goes down, and then you can always convert. I mean, you wrote it here. You can always convert mass into energy, and vice versa. You can go from energy to mass, depending on what are the conditions.
I think
right?
the probability is the issue that we're talking about. Because
because you can do that in a particle accelerator. What are you talking about?
Well, no, if that was the case, then we would be
Particle
able to
accelerator
make
is
life.
controlled by a person, though.
Yeah, that is controlled by a person. We're
No,
talking about
but
a purely naturalistic event.
wait a minute. So you're saying that if I throw a dice, right, and it lands on, let's say, a 5,